Good afternoon to all our friends in the Phoenix area. I'm Matt Anthony, the founder and president of the Head for the Cure Foundation. And it's my honor and pleasure to be here today with Dr. Shwetal Mehta, the Chief Operating Officer and Deputy Director of the Ivy Brain Tumor Center, one of the foremost brain tumor centers really in the world, right in the Phoenix area. So it's a great honor. Dr. Mehta, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for having me. And we are so honored and grateful to be the beneficiary again for this event, and thrilled to be part of the Head for the Cure 5K walk that's happening next month.
Yes, it's we're here to sort of talk about it. It's hard to believe that this is our fifth year, but it's the fifth of many. You know, we're in this for the long haul, that's for sure. And as Dr. Mehta said, so to everybody out there who has signed up, thank you. To everybody that's a bit procrastinating, now's the time. So fifth annual Head for the Cure Phoenix 5K at Kiwanis Park on Saturday, October 28th. By then it should be cool in Phoenix. I'm in Kansas City, so we've had a hot summer, but then there's Phoenix. So
it's getting cooler, so
that's
hoping it's going to be better. Yeah.
Should be absolutely beautiful. I think this is a fantastic time to be in Phoenix for our 5K, and the park's amazing, and we are so honored also to partner with the Ivy Brain Tumor Center. This is Dr. Mehta, our event in Phoenix will be our 25th event of the year and our final event this year. We've done our 5Ks from Seattle to Rochester, New York, and all parts in between. So it's great to end in Phoenix. And I might ask you, you have been to many Head for the Cure 5Ks during your time at Ivy, and we're so honored that you'll be there again this year, representing patients really, as well as the Barrow Neurological Institute and specifically the Ivy Brain Tumor Center. Can you share a little bit about what it means to patients to kind of get out of the clinic and get into an environment that is a celebration of hope and community with other patients? How important is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was there for the very first Head for the Cure event 5 years ago. And I think the connection and support outside the clinical setting is so invaluable for patients and families who are battling brain cancer. Events like the Head for the Cure, they recognize that, tackling this disease goes beyond the medical treatment. It provides a unique platform for patients, for the caregivers, medical professionals, scientists like myself, and the community to come together in a very supportive environment. And I think it fosters a sense of belonging, empathy, shared strength. Patients and caregivers often find common ground and solace in knowing that they're not alone in a journey like this. And I think it definitely boosts morale, not just of patients and caregivers, but also for people like us. Sometimes we are like on the inside, not knowing what's happening outside. So this is a great place for us to connect.
That is so well said. And you just sort of, summarized the intent of Head for the Cure in partnership with Ivy, that it's, you said it, that it's an environment where patients and caregivers don't feel alone. And I think that's so central. Every difficult diagnosis, every cancer has a source of loneliness. Brain cancer is quite unique. It affects all aspects of the human condition, mobility to cognitive reality to, in the pace of change. And so to be in these environments, I think is really important. And what you said is something we've really tried to do at Head to the Cure, and you embody it at Ivy in Phoenix, is connecting patients to patients, patients to caregivers, caregivers to caregivers, and all of them to scientists, doctors, medical community, nurses, social workers who treat them, but everybody is sort of embracing this experience, and to get out of the clinic environment where everybody, lace up your shoes and put your shorts and t-shirt on. Everybody's the same, and it brings smiles for sure. And I want to encourage everybody, all the patients at Ivy who might have heard about it, might be a little reluctant, might be a little afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. That's for sure. It's just a great fun experience. And I often think about the caregivers, Dr. Mehta, that I know when patients come to the clinic at Ivy Brain Tumor Center, they rarely come alone. They're rarely with a loved one, a spouse, a brother, a sister, maybe a friend. How important is that caregiver, not only as a source of comfort, but also to help in the decision making that goes with the treatment path? Can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they play a really important role because, as you said, they're there all through this treatment process, right? When you get the diagnosis, through all those various tests that you have to go through, um, I think having them integrally involved in the process and educated are equally important. And I know at Ivy Center we have events again geared towards caregiver support and caregiver education as
Yes, you
well.
guys do it so well there. That's, I do. It's back to that alone piece. That can be a very lonely experience too, and a very difficult one. And I recently was asked how many people are affected by malignant brain tumors every year. That is, how many, the question meaning how many are diagnosed with glioblastoma or another form of malignant brain tumor. And, the numbers are 14, 15, 16,000 and 700,000 people living with a brain tumor. But I realized that the answer to the question is different than just the people that are facing it. The number of people affected are in the millions, because to every patient, there's a whole network of people that surround them. And I think that's what Head for the Cure brings, is it brings those people together. And with that, as you think, Ivy is again a world-class institution that is doing world-changing research in the path to defeat brain cancer, to beat brain tumors. That said, I know that most difficult cancers are often underfunded, and without funding, they're under-researched. So while I want to bring more money every year to Ivy, it's a grassroots organization, but is that the funds that come from Head for the Cure and other grassroots organizations, how important are they to Ivy in your pursuit of tackling this disease?
Yeah, as you said, some of these difficult to treat cancers are underfunded. We are not amongst the heavy hitters when you look at cancer. We're not the breast, it's not breast cancer or lung cancer. And so funds are not sufficient. So everything raised through events like Head for the Cure and donor supported money, these grassroots efforts are really pivotal for the work we do here at the Ivy Center. They directly support cutting edge research, some of the new clinical trials where we're trying to think outside the box, come up with new innovative things. I think these philanthropic contributions play a significant role in advancing our mission.
That's great to hear. And with that, that knowing that every day your teams are looking under the microscope and examining tumor tissue and collaborating on protocols, as across you and your colleagues, just at a high level, what gives you optimism, you and your colleagues' optimism, Dr. Mehta, in terms of the progress that's being made in the treatment of malignant brain tumors?
Yeah, I think for brain tumors, which are so complex, especially the aggressive ones, the current treatment plan is mostly non-curative. And so at the Ivy Center, what we are bringing in is this really novel phase 0 clinical trial design that's all our trials have that integrated in them. It allows us to quickly test dozens of new treatment options that are out there in the laboratory and identify which regimens are a good fit for the patients. let them know if it's working or not, and then they can move on to receiving that treatment if it's working for them. And if it's not, they can move on to try something else, since we know time
Okay.
is of essence for our patients.
That's
Um,
so true. Yes.
and I think it allows us to really, um, bring these new regimens, test novel treatment options um, in a way that I think we've been boxed in through the conventional trials, and IV centers trying to get away from that conventional regimen. So I think that really gives me optimism that people are also trying to adapt these methods um, and bring new therapies for patients. And I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's wonderful. Now, what I my just reacting to that a little bit, IV has the ability to be more nimble, and you spoke of time of as of the essence. You know, certainly the urgency of this diagnosis, given the life expectancy for the most aggressive tumors, as you say, can be very difficult. So you translate that into how you're working in the lab, and uh, because of the structure of IV, you can move faster, and that's
Yes,
a tremendous advantage to patients who find their way to the Barrow Neurological Institute and the IV Brain Tumor Center.
correct. Yeah, the conventional trials, clinical trials, which often the tumors come back, and at that point, enrolling into clinical trials is an option. But most conventional trials, by the time you know whether the treatment's working or not, it's too late. Um, and we don't know why it didn't work. Was it because the drug didn't get into the brain?
Sure.
And so our trials are designed to give that answer right away in the beginning, and then move patients into the trials where we know the drug's getting in. It's really doing what it's supposed to do for them.
That is an extraordinary advantage, and one that is easy for people to understand. That the 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 pace of change is rapid, and to as the tumor is accelerating, you have the ability to accelerate right alongside, and that's so wonderful. No, sort of kind of back to our event. Everything you're speaking of relates to why we partner, why Head for the Cure exists, to convene patients and caregivers alongside the medical community, the medical partners, raise awareness certainly that this disease needs attention. It needs their energy, and it needs all of our focus and funding. And then on top of that, it's an event that brings hope forward, and hope. Its partner is joy, and I think that's what we try to do through these events. And I can't wait for I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be emceeing it, so I'll see you on October 28th. I can't wait to see everybody in the Phoenix area. It'll be great fun. And I say often, I think you might echo this, Dr. Mehta, but when people in our lives are facing something that is unexpected, very difficult, if not tragic, the natural reaction is to reach out to that person and say, what can I do to help? And that's well-meaning, but it's also taking the burden and putting it right back on that person's shoulder. And Head for the Cure exists as the answer to the question. It's simply to show up. And so that's our ask, is just to show up for your loved ones, your friends, your coworkers, who just by participating in our 5th annual Head for the Cure Phoenix 5K on October 28th at Kiwanis Park. It's go to the website headforthecure.org/Phoenix, and it's a great value. We have a killer T-shirt this year, great medals, great program. It's great fun. That's and I you're smiling, Dr. Mehta, and I'm smiling because I get to go to these events all over the country, and I love Phoenix. You can't leave this event without a smile, don't you think?
I totally agree. Yeah. And I think I would just want to say one more thing is for the patients and caregivers, remember, this may be the first time for you, but it's not the first time for us. And we are here to support and be there. Again, supporting Head for the Cure 5K is supporting brain tumor research, and
That's
raising
what you do every
awareness
day.
is important. Yeah.
It's your life's work. I know that, and we we're again really honored to partner. We do these events all over the country, but this is our local event. We bring the money right back to Ivy, and that's really important. So again, thank you, Dr. Mehta, for all you do, for committing your life to this work, to the patients of the Phoenix area at Ivy Brain Tumor Center. Thanks for partnering with us at Head to the Cure. We're excited for another great event. So
yeah, thank you.
Join the
Thank
team.
you so much, and it's an honor. And we'll see you next month.
Yeah, for sure. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.